Engage the cloak. Raise the shields. Set a course for Federation space, warp 13.
Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers, fellow Toynets and toy collectors? This is Starscream 1988, and today I bring you the Diamond Selects Art Asylum Star Trek: The Next Generation. And yes, this is the NCC-1701-D All Good Things Enterprise. Yes, this is the very last episode Enterprise ever seen on that iconic 7-year run show. 178 episodes of Star Trek, and then it spawned others, obviously. But yeah, this is really cool toy. It's actually something that I wasn't planning on reviewing anytime soon, as I wasn't going to open it. But 49ers 1975 asked me if I was, or he was hoping that I would. So I like to please if whenever I can. So for him, and actually somebody else PM'd me and asked me, oh, you know, would you do it? And I apologize for your name. I forgot to check to see who that was. Also had PM me and asked me, oh, if I can review it. So for those two people, I definitely wouldn't mind. I think actually the second person, I don't know. I don't even think he subscribes to me. But anyway, whatever. 49ers does, though. So thank you, my man, for asking. And definitely, it was a good excuse for me to bring out. But yeah, this is a really cool ship. Obviously, it's a overhauled of the original D class or series class, whatever you want to call it, Enterprise. Galaxy class, you know, cruiser, starship, or you know. But yeah, this is really nice. They added obviously some things to it, but at the end of the day, it is definitely still that same iconic ship. So I guess we'll kind of show you some of the things that they added, and obviously they're very noticeable. And kind of bring it forward a little bit here. So yeah, they added these funky laser turrets there, which is kind of cool. They actually brings you back to Enterprise, really. Because in Enterprise, the original, not the original show, the kind of prequel type show, they actually had like phaser banks like this. I don't know what this is, probably some type of array. Still obviously has the captain's bridge, whatever not. In terms of the pattern, it's exactly the same. The only thing they added is actually this red right here, which is really cool. That, I know it's kind of tough to see, I have to turn it, but like that's on the original. Those there, these here, these are like phaser banks and stuff like that. Those are there, but then they added all this right here, which is pretty cool. In terms of, you know, gray to black, in terms of the windows and, you know, whatever these things are, or maybe I think these are actually pods, all these square ones. Yeah, these are ejection pods. And all the black ones would be actually windows that people can look through. Yeah, that hasn't changed, and I mean, I didn't like count every single one, but it hasn't changed. What else do we have? In terms of the ship, the bottom of the ship there, it does have the quantum torpedo, kind of like rail-looking gun. And I guess, yeah, they are more powerful in this era towards the end of that future, whatever or not. What else? Oh, here it has an extra, I guess it's kind of like a sublight engine. Obviously, it's, you know, these are their standard engines. And then these actually obviously help it prepare it to go a lot faster and whatever not. Obviously, the biggest thing about this is the extra third nacelle, which you can see there. And then it has these protruding portions up here. I don't know what they're for, but they look kind of cool, I guess. Here you have an extra bridge, or not bridge, but kind of like more, I guess obviously it's a foundation to hold the nacelle, but it's you know, more of a, I guess maybe it's part of the armor, and it's just, again, just to help hold this. Again, this is kind of all new here, all this section right here, which is pretty cool. It has also these kind of wings in the back here, as you can see. That's all new. Obviously in space, those things honestly wouldn't matter, but obviously even like with the new J.J. Abrams type movies, if this were to come into a Terran type planet, or obviously Earth-like planet that has atmosphere, then I guess this would help. As they're not, as they, I should say, are kind of like, wings on a plane or whatever, rudders or whatever you want to call it. So it would, I guess, help propel it. What else? What else did they add? Unlike the original, yeah, actually no, it's all the same. Except obviously for the sound in terms of the toy itself, it does come with two. Actually, this is the original stand for the original D class. It's just I didn't feel like taking this one out, as I'm about to box as soon as I'm done with the review. But they're exactly the same stand. So this small one is to hold the saucer section, and the big one obviously holds the ship, and it does pivot, as you can see there. It's pretty good. I don't want to like move it too much because I don't want to like waste it or whatever, like waste the joint or whatever, and then I won't be able to position the way I want. But I'm more than likely will position one like this, or maybe without the saucer section. I have no idea. Now, speaking of saucer section and speaking of this stand here, it still does separate, so that's pretty cool. It's a really, really strong magnet. I don't know how many magnets to put on this, but it's really strong. And the inside there obviously still tells you it's trademark of CVS, Diamond Select Toys, Collectibles, and whatever not. And obviously all the sensors are inside the dish here, and that's where you hear the sound. By itself, it won't do anything. So it does have to be connected to the ship itself in order for you to get that, the sound effects and whatever not. It's still somewhat hollow, but I'm sure the chip's in there and whatever not. Where the captain's yacht would have been, that's actually now sealed, like forever, I guess. So I guess there's no more ejection. That's really, it's a warship at this point. It's no longer an exploration vessel. It's pretty cool. So yeah, looks kind of funky. I like the fact that in the inside they took the time to still write Enterprise and CC. So I mean, obviously this stupid thing gets in the way, but it's all good. Now, going back to, well, I can actually display this. Going back to the regular main part of the ship. So you can still display that like that if you so wish. So, put that, we'll put it up here. So yeah, you can still display this. Obviously, without the saucer, you can't really balance it that well. For some reason it just does that, and hopefully I just didn't break it there. But it's still, you can still actually get lights out of it, which is pretty cool compared to the original. The original actually doesn't have that feature. Actually it does. I'm trying to like always go back and forth and check, but so if you press this little button right there, I don't know if you can see that right there, you can actually still operate the lights. I thought that if you held it long enough, they could just stay on. And they did the very first time I tried it. But for some reason, they don't hold anymore. Now, in the original, they actually still do, which is really cool. See, they're just not holding for me. Maybe I somehow ruined it, or mine's is defective. The first time I did it, it held. But for some reason, they're just not holding anymore. That's okay. I guess that's one way to not forget it. Now, speaking of the original, let me kind of put this to the side here so I can bring the original one out. As you can see, the original one, I did press those lights, and they're still lighting, I should say. If you can press that again, and it actually doesn't want to shut off now. Oh, there you go. Let's try that one more time. Oh, there you go. Cool. Now, obviously, when you heard the new one, the D class, All Good Things, that actually has Riker's voice. The original one, I'll kind of play for you just in case you haven't heard it in a long time.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up, red alert. Make it sound. T. Earl Grey hot. Dispersal pattern, Sierra. make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise.
And we probably never will. We've had a lot of ships in real life named that Enterprise carrier. There's actually a super carrier coming out that's being built. I think it's Roosevelt class or something like that, or Reagan class. It has some president's name, obviously. But yeah, there's a new ship coming out pretty soon with the Enterprise name again. So that's pretty exciting. I think it's coming out in 2015 or 2016 or something. So I'll try to see if I can kind of put these together a little bit so you can kind of see what they look like next to each other. In terms of colors, it's a little... The new one seems just a little bit darker. Maybe it's more of a kind of like a worn, like battle worn type color. It's definitely not the lighting. And one other feature that they kind of forgot, or maybe I would have to go back and check on the episode. It's missing the Star Trek insignias on the warp nacelles. So that I thought it was kind of weird. I guess obviously if you're very talented and you can find stickers yourself from like a model kit or something, you can kind of just put your own and whatever. But maybe it's not meant to be like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, obviously you can kind of see and they're not subtle. Some of the differences there. Again, the extra phasers, whatever that thing is there, and then the nacelle, which is the big thing, and obviously all that extra girth there that they added. And the extra impulse engine there, which is pretty cool. Or sublight impulse engine, I think it's what it actually is. But yeah, they're very cool to have. Unlike going back to the Enterprise show where you can, there's the whatever was it, the U.S.S version of the ship. I actually don't have that ship either, but I mean, I would be happy with either or. But I mean, that's just more of a sticker difference. So other than that, I mean, this is very, very cool because you can honestly say, yeah, they're two different ships. This just has so much more to the right. And again, I apologize for not being able to kind of show you this any better than what I'm doing right now. Just because there's just no room. So, one thing, and again, it all has to do again with the actual saucer section because that's where the chip is. Doesn't matter which one you use. You can actually swap them. This is the Picard, obviously all good things. Riker, which is kind of funny to see this ship saying those things. Alright, and last but not least, we'll put this one again.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up, red alert. Make it so. Command to the battle bridge. Continue to fire all phases. Damage report. Warp 9. Engage. Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was just kind of going back in my head and remembering that episode how when they went Warp 13, Picard's like, Warp 13? It's like, yeah, we've, he says something about, yeah, we've, things have changed ever since you left or something like that, which is, I thought it was kind of cool. Warp 9 is supposed to be, obviously, the max, and anything after Warp 9, I think it's time travel, slinging around the sun and whatever not. So it's kind of funny that they can go warp 13, but that's not really going into the future or back in time or whatever not. But it is what it is. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe it isn't. But yeah, so they're pretty cool. I definitely highly recommend this. Actually, I got lucky. I picked mine up at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know if they're still available. I would think so. I don't think they're sold out yet. I know there's people trying to scalp them at $100. Definitely not worth it. I went to a convention, actually, the Boston, not the Boston Comic Con, Boston Anime, a few months ago, and some guy wanted like 125, and I'm like, dude, are you on crack? That's like twice the price. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. For those that you do sell on eBay, that's how they make their living. It's all good. But yeah, so actually, let me just show you the last thing, because normally I do start with boxes, and some people don't care about boxes, but others do. So I'll show you what the boxes look like. You can take my big hand out of there. So this is the original box over here, and as you can see, yes, there's Mr. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, and this is, yes, Starship Legends, whatever not. Turn that around. And then he kind of gives you obviously some information, then whatever not. You can kind of read that if you like, just in case you've never seen this box or whatever. And I think at this point you can probably pause it, okay? So then that was that box, and I'll take that one out of the way. Now what I would have wished they would have done is actually give number 2 a little bit of credit, but they didn't, because obviously the face of Star Trek is Patrick Stewart, you know, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, you know. So yeah, he's on the cover again, and I mean, this is definitely from season 1, as he's a lot older. But yeah, he looks, you know, he looks pretty good there. You know, obviously this is at least 15, 16 years old in terms of picture-wise. If not, probably even a little bit longer, actually. Now that I come to think of it, could be 20 years old, I think, at this point. And then this box probably has the same information. You can probably read that for yourself there. Kind of move that over there. Hopefully you can see that okay. Hopefully that'll clear up a little. Yeah, there you go. Cool. So, I mean, you can pause it, whatever not. Now, see, it still has a picture of the original Enterprise, which I find very interesting that they didn't take the time to just kind of take a picture of the new one. I mean, obviously that's what you're purchasing. But for whatever reason, this is how they did it, and so that's what it is. Yeah, that's basically it, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple of my regulars that are always commenting. That being, again, 49ers 1975. I hope I got that right. Exfiliode. What is it? Is it Exfiliode? Something like that. It's I apologize. It's yeah, Expelion 209X, Transformers 337, Fallen Jedi. You know, a lot of the normal guys that lately have been commenting. So thanks a lot, guys, as always, for watching my videos, and all you new subscribers that have been subscribing lately. I do appreciate it. Sorry if I don't really get around to saying thank you to every single one of you anymore. But the main reason is I'm getting like 15 to 25, 30 new subscribers on a daily basis. So it's kind of tough to kind of click and say thank you to everybody. So the best way that I can see that is by saying it here on video. So again, guys, thank you so very much for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for commenting. You guys take care. Peace. And I will see you guys later.